Hello stock traders, I hope all of you had a successful week. In this video, I'm going to give a recap of the previous week and the picks that we had from this channel, from the insider activity and the top 7 list. Also going to give you an update on how stocks finished on Friday. And so here we go, the top 7. If you were equally in each and every single stock that I recommended in Friday morning's video, you would have had a 1.91% gain because insiders did quite a bit better than the market. Personally, I had a 0.71% loss. I had a couple stocks that did not work for me. I wasn't just in this top 7 and didn't have that great a day, but overall so far this year to date doing very well. This list so far month to date is up 10.64%, doing very well. After the first 2 weeks of the month, expecting that to continue and do very well for the month of January. Year to date, I am at a 17.27% gain. The differences are some of the option strategies that I have. Some of the strategies that I talk about in our standard and premium group have done very, very well. The insiders are doing well too, so everything seems to be going the right direction so far. I like to use Webull for my trading. The reason why I do is because I can trade as early as 3 a.m. and as late as 7 p.m. Central. There are fantastic tools and lots of great scanners that I use each and every day. If you are looking for a powerful broker, please check it out. We have a link in the description down below. I think you'll be glad that you did. It's a very good broker in comparison to others for sure. Okay, so I have 2 sales to report from Friday. Both of these were OTCs, so I sold off a couple of those OTC stocks that I had recommended. Sold PERS for a 0.5% gain and sold AHNR for a 44.2% gain. So very, very good. You're only as good as your strategy. This strategy is extremely effective. This is what I call my insider swing play. And it's what I cover and it's what you can learn by being a member of our Patreon group. So we have a very good group of investors that have a lot of different strengths and different strengths than I have. So it's not just the insider swing play that you get out of those different groups. In the standard level and premium level, I have my buddies John and Devin and so many other great investors in those rooms that will help you along your way, and they have very good strategies. There's a reason why they were picked to be in that room, is because they are very good at what they do. You could really benefit from it. We have a link in the description down below. I highly recommend you check it out. We have a great group of people. All right, so here we go, the weekly review, and this is all the stocks sold between Monday and Friday of last week. So here we go. The first is MIRM, sold for a 4.54% gain. USIO sold for a 6.25% loss. HOME sold for a 22.3% gain. REI sold for a 44.15% gain. APRN sold for a 7.29% gain. CAG sold for a 0.81% gain. And then the ones from Friday sold PERS for a 0.5% gain and AHNR for a 44.2% gain. That's 8 total picks. 7 were winners. Average gain per pick 14.69%. So it shows you that following the insiders is a very effective strategy. The average for this is a 70% win rate and an average 3% gain per pick. That has been the average over years after years. So this is way above average for sure. And we have been performing way above average. The insiders is the news before the news. And so there's a reason why following insider activity can be very rewarding. They have to report to the SEC. They have to report whether they bought or sold. So it's very transparent and you get to see if they sold or not, and it really helps you to get a feeling for how the people within the company feel about the company that they work for. Are they willing to spend their own money? And so I love that type of activity. Here we go. Let's get you a brand new top 7 list for this next week. That should get you going. All of these have insider activity. Here we go. The first one is CNFN, and this is CFN Enterprises. This is an OTC. OTCs are not my favorite, but it's what I've had to choose just because with earnings seasons and also a little bit of uncertainty with the inauguration, insiders really haven't been spending their own money here lately. And so I've had to go to some of these OTCs that have had insider activity on them and have been very bullish, and they're performing extremely well. And on Friday, this finished up 13.20%. This one is really doing well well since adding to the list. I really hope you got in on this early. My average in it is 5 cents a share, and since calling this out, it is up 40% even. And Brian Ross, president and CEO, has been buying up shares. Very bullish activity. All right, number 7 is Night Food Holdings, NGTF. And with video game sales being higher, this company has seen a burst in sales. Also, lots of insider activity on this. Sean Folkson purchased shares at 13 cents a share. And in a way, you could call this a cannabis stock. Night Food Holdings, you know, you get the munchies. And so cannabis goes up, so does this. But on Friday, this did finish down 2.03%. My average in it is 12 cents a share. And since calling this out, it is up 8.33%. So it's doing pretty well. Hopefully you got in early on this, but if you haven't, I still think this one has much room to go. All right, number 6 is Diversicare Healthcare, DVCR. And on Friday, this finished down 2.06%, but this one's done pretty well for us. My average in it is $3.85 a share. And Osmium Spartan LP has bought shares 3 days in a row. So bullish activity. Since calling this out, is up 4.94%. Number 5 is SURG, and this has ties to Bitcoin. We all know how Bitcoin has been really, really hot. So SURG Holdings, this is another OTC. And on Friday, this finished down 11.08%. They finished down with Bitcoin. My average in it's 11 cents. Since calling this out, it is up 36.36%. So it's doing very, very well. Brian Cox, CEO, bought shares in open market. Also, with Bitcoin being up through this weekend, I'm expecting on Tuesday for this to have a nice little pop. And so this one should do really well on Tuesday. So looking forward to great things with that. Number 4 is ADM Endeavors, ADMQ. On Friday, this finished up 2.19%. My average in it is 0.0825 since calling it out. It is up 8.48%, and there's been brand new insider activity on this that happened on Friday, and so this resets the clock as far as this goes. But Johnson Mark, CEO, has been buying up shares. This is 7 days in a row of insider purchases, and so that's bullish. Even though these are smaller, it continues to buy over and over and over again. CEOs do that when they feel that their company is extremely undervalued. And so the conviction here as the buying continues, I feel pretty good about my money being in ADMQ. Number 3 is PGTK. This is Pacific Green Tech, another OTC. I know tons of these right now. Fresh Air Investments is buying up shares 2 days in a row. And this is a Biden stock if I ever saw one. So with Biden going to be our next president, this is something that really could surge upwards. Friday, this thing went ballistic. It went up 53.11%. Saw the insider activity on it, called it out to our group after analyzing it, and so far have done really, really well. My average in it's $2.88. Since calling this out, is up 11.30, but I think this is going to continue to move forward, especially with the Green New Deal. So I don't know if that's really a good investment for our country. That's a whole nother thing. But as it goes, I think that Pacific Green Tech will definitely benefit from the Green New Deal. And so that's the reason why it's surging so high. This is a small company, but they have a really encouraging machine that can take carbon emissions out of the air. All right, number 2 is LNDC, Landec. And on Friday, this finished down 1.72%. My average in it is $10.75. Since calling this out, it is up 0.75%. So this is one that's actually traded that is not an OTC. So that is kind of good to have a few of these on the list. I look forward to adding more, just waiting until some of that insider activity is available. But Nelson Obis bought shares at open market at $10.81. Bullish activity. Analysts have an average target price on this stock of $15 a share. So I'm expecting this one to do well. Number 1, and this is a great stock, and it's been a really, really great mover for us, and I don't think it's done. I think it's got a lot more room to run. This is MRSN. This is Miriam Pharmaceuticals, and on Friday, this finished up another 1.59%, so doing very well for us. My average in it is $19.20, and since calling this out, it is up 10.83%. Hopefully you got in on it right away. But Andrew Hack spent $4.6 million, 250,000 shares. That's a very, very big buy in open market, and did so over 3 days. So spread it out over 3 days. Analysts have an average target on this of $33 a share. So there's some big upside, I think, on the way. And so this one continues to do very, very well. I do a lot of work for this list. So if you could please do me a favor, please hit that most amazing and wonderful like button. Also, if you have not done so before, please subscribe, turn on those bell notifications so you get notified when one of these videos comes out. I wish all of you the best. We should see the market start to stabilize, especially after Wednesday. So it shall be interesting to see how it goes. It's been interesting how the big money has been going. The big money has definitely been going out of the market at the end of this last week. And so there's just a lot of uncertainty going on with the inauguration. But as far as I think what will happen, and do I know, does the market even care what I think? No, the market doesn't care what I think. But if we get stability, we could enter into honeymoon phase and the market could actually do very, very well, especially with inflation starting to happen. When inflation happens in small amounts, it's very good for the stock market. Why? Because companies can charge more for their goods and services, and it takes longer for them to pay their employees to raise up to that. So inflation is actually kind of good for the stock market, at least a healthy inflation. And we've been almost at a zero inflation rate for a long time. Anyway, wishing all of you the very best. I hope all of you have a fantastic trading week, and Raythoven out.